my general balance. Cheryl's working on the end of the year things, so hopefully we'll have
You
a
just have,
report.
you got one more copy or
I
not?
do.
Alright, usually you send a copy.
Bills. I've got the maintenance agreement for our financial computer system, so I didn't know if you guys wanted to look over that. It needs to be signed. I know you were talking about maybe changing it.
Is that Massac?
That's Josh, that's,
Yeah.
James. And
What company is this?
Josh Incorporated.
So, I signed something this morning about it, didn't you, Jason? You signed something about a maintenance agreement?
The maintenance, or
I
for
don't think I have
Manatron
yet.
is with our real estate program.
I don't think I have signed anything yet.
Okay,
Maybe, I mean, maybe I will.
yeah.
So we got 42,000, that's after payroll, everything.
Didn't know if there was anything you guys needed, or,
Well, I guess we'll just look that over, is that just an annual?
yeah,
Okay. Pretty pleased with their service and everything.
oh, yeah. You know, a lot of those places, if you have a question or a problem, if you call them, they charge you for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, James, but you know James,
Yeah.
he doesn't.
We're gonna be spending some of that grant money today and right away, so it'll be coming through, I guess. But in fact, the guy did some backhoe work out there, so he may need his money today or tomorrow, so.
I
Is
know.
that Eddie?
Yeah,
Okay.
Who doesn't need it
that's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Have you been out there and done any work?
in the front yard?
Yeah.
No, I didn't even know it was. I came around this morning and
You
I
can't
was
get a
like,
check
whoa.
if you don't work.
Yeah, what I thought it was a sewer issue or something.
I've been at the hospital. If I haven't been here, I've been at the hospital, so.
I don't have anything else.
All right, so you guys have a good day.
Okay, thank you, Dan.
You're welcome.
How was your weekend?
Good. Got a pile of my bills up here.
That's all right, I'll try to stay out of the way for a little bit. Did you catch up?
Oh, yeah, good luck.
Thought I had a complaint, Larry, but I don't think so, do
Thought he did, but he don't.
Yeah. Then to write down on something.
Jason, how in the world, let's see. You got one of these signed in the middle of this stack.
Oh, did I missed one?
I think you hit one.
Oh.
One thing, Larry, that crossing there at Schultz,
Okay.
I don't know what kind of car this guy's got, he said the bottom of it was dragging on the rail.
Okay, we'll check it.
Kind of maybe it's lowered or something, I don't know, but he said on the, I guess it'd be the northeast, in other words, the highway side of the tracks. You know, when, in the summertime, when you apply your brakes, you get that ripple washboard sign with a stop sign or something. He said it's like the asphalt was pushed up there or something, or it's made it low, you know, in one area.
Track settled, okay.
You know,
I just have to look at it and give them a call, but
Yeah, I mean, you don't really have.
we don't mess
authority
with
to work
railroad.
on that. That's what
We don't
he
mess
said.
with railroad track.
well.
We
I know
mess
that.
with the road on each side of it, but we just
Yeah.
work
Well,
with them.
it's the road, I think, according to him. Now, I took that low boy across there with that track hole, and, you know, it's low,
Yeah.
and it went right across.
See,
It's caught
what
up, right?
happens is your track settles.
Makes it rough, you mean?
Yeah, yeah, and it ends up, your road's high. Well, no, the track's settled.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of those.
We have fought that for years. And we've worked, I've worked railroad crossings, get with the railroad and work a railroad crossing and get it smooth. And then they come through and raise it or lower it, and It's a never ending.
What, do they have to come through that tamper then and pull that ballast back up under there? And
But we worked to get it to them one time, and they raised it up and had it raised up about the A4, and I called them, and, yeah.
they're doing it good?
Working with railroads is never
I'd say it's hard to get hold.
easy or fast.
I'd say it's hard to get hold of the right person, maybe.
Yeah.
They pass it right
And
along.
some of them, I've worked with that one a little bit more than I have the IC. And we only had 2 crossings with the IC, and, you know, they get those, and they, you know, we've got about 10, I think, on the Burlington.
Yeah.
And, so I deal with them because I've got, you know, more frequently. But the IC, you deal with them every 2 or 3 years, and they change people, so the numbers you have and the names you have, oh, those ain't no good, they're not in that job anymore, they moved on to something else, so it's.
Yeah, that one be out there at the hog farm, that would be a crossing, wouldn't it?
It's the second one.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and there, what was it they hit me? Oh, yeah, we may, I'm trying to get Gates at Big Bay.
What makes you wanna do that?
I was encouraged to.
Oh, okay.
There in Joppa Road.
Because of traffic counts, or how do you,
It's,
people in the community wanting that, or where they are?
it's safety. I don't think it will cost us anything, and it's a safety feature.
They maintain them, don't they?
This is we've done it before, it's federal safety project, and since it's safety, it's 100% funded with the Federal Railroad. And that's county highways and two busier crossings. And Gates, a little bit more deterrent for people trying to beat the
Get
train.
around. Yeah.
Mhm.
Had many complaints about roads washing away or anything, or other than the one person?
Well,
Or those culverts?
not that I know of, because everybody, you know, we've out trying to fix them, and everybody's seemed to be pretty understanding, you know, and realize it takes some time to, you know, cover that many miles.
Larry,
We
the
had a big pipe put back in Thursday.
northeast of all the grain bins down there, that there's a washout in the road. I mean, it'll rattle your teeth if you hit it, but I'd say.
East,
Yeah.
Somewhere else I see one. On Westview Road, I don't know if you guys have marked it or somebody has.
I got a pipe for that.
Okay.
That's, pipe trust.
That's kinda what I figured.
Yeah, we found it, I should've put a culvert or barricade up on that.
Traffic area, it's easy to see, somebody, did you guys mark that, or somebody else do that? I mean, it's got a sticker or some flag on it.
We did that, and I meant to go back for the barricade up better than that stick and flagging. But we got the new pipe in Thursday or Friday. That's not washed out what's happening. Sucking out the pipe.
Dana. I'm sorry.
Yes. It is.
I don't think I made him happy, but I told him, that according to the Secretary of State's office, I did all I can do for him.
Well, you can do it. Yeah, she was trying to balance over there.
Larry, Thursday evening, I took, ran his dog down, drove down through the bottoms, and just before the water got over New Cut Road, and I looked out there, saw something I'd never seen before. There were actually 2 swans swimming around in the backwater. I'd never seen that before. I sat there and just, I'm not seeing that, am I?
They're
And one was
big, aren't they?
They're huge.
Yeah.
I've seen them. Well, see, they've been at Mermet, and I've seen them in other places. Out in the field, in fact, I saw them.
Well, these were out in New Cut in the flooded part, and they were feeding. I was going, whoa, those aren't geese, they're white.
They are big and beautiful.
Mhm.
They are pretty birds.
And I'm thinking, you still have to carry a camera, what's the matter? Because that's, you know, that's a pretty hard story to sell, but
No, they come, they're in this area. I've seen them out at Mermet, and like I said, up, or so north here where my wife grew up, they come in the wheat fields up there. Saw 10 or more in one field up there. We just pulled off on a field entrance, sat and watched them, and luckily we had our cameras with us, so I got some pictures. And 2 or 3 years ago.
Larry, do you know of any agency in Carbondale or anything that has an apostille?
Of what?
An apostille, it's sort of like a glorified notary. Well, we have a Russian citizen here, there are 2 actually, that live here in Massac County. And he's needing a document notarized that, he's got a statement in English and a statement in Russian, but it's, when you notarize his signature, it says, you know, that by notarizing this, I am fluent in this statement in Russian.
Oh, my.
And we did it, we've done this twice for him, just trying to help him out. And the Secretary of State's called up, the first time they threatened, this last time they pretty much, you know, they weren't mad, but they said, you can't do that. And me explaining to this gentleman that we're not allowed to do this, I've spent 20 minutes with him. You'd think they'd have some kind of service, like in Carbondale.
I don't know if the city offices in Carbondale would know of anyone like that, you know,
Well,
with the
the
university being there, there.
Well, the university has one, but they only do it for students.
Oh,
And the closest place he has to go to get it done is Springfield. Has the river quit rising yet? Well, I mean, it took a jump from Thursday to the weekend.
I don't know, it was coming in Thursday, I know. And I haven't been back down to look since then. It was coming in big time Thursday, I was down.
Well, this was Thursday evening when I saw the swans, but when I happened to pop down there yesterday, and it was over New Cut 3 to 4 feet. They're in that little bit.
Jason, when there's 2 of them, do we sign both of them? What's your plans there?
Do you know Lydia Latinsky by any chance? She's the liaison between the NRC and Honeywell. She's a nuclear physicist out. They're US citizens because they vote. But I don't know why he needs this Russian documentation, but he needs it for something. And he really puts Lynn on the spot, because I mean, he's pleasant, but boy, he's pushy.
See, you work somewhere over here?
I'm not sure what he does.
That's fine.
Hmm?
That's fine.
He may be.
How's it going? Yeah.
What did I just sign? Is one of them a highway and one of them a
Township and unit bridge.
just the way some of them are broken out, correct?
Yeah, they're just different things.
What's that clothing allowance, that bigger?
Once a year.
Yeah.
This is the time.
Give me the next glare. That must be for a license. That's what I figured.
Sorry, Dylan.
Yeah, 20 for me and 15 for the other three.
Well, that's different, isn't it?
Anything else, gentlemen?
No, sir. What do you think?
Happy to.
Thank you, lady.
What's going on?
Much?
Weekend?
Yeah, pretty good. How about you?
Ball game tonight?
I think Tyler does. It's away or home yet.
Don't have a schedule, huh?
No, he can't bring his schedule home.
I got a schedule if you want me to give you a copy of it.
You do?
Yeah.
Of the high school?
It was
you-
in the newspaper, I just cut it out, but I'm like.
What, like last week's newspaper?
No, it began the season.
Oh,
A
okay.
couple months ago. I'm gonna catch Monday nights at home, next Monday night. That's the first thing I was gonna do Monday.
So we have one Monday.
You have one Monday night at home
Thanks,
next week.
Jason.
this week.
Okay, I'll write that down.
Cause I'm planning on going, I think you have a game Tuesday and Thursday this week.
Tuesday and Thursday.
'Cause-
Good to know.
Well, it's exact same time that we play junior high, cause I've been wanting to go watch them, but it's almost every time we have a game, you all have a game.
Okay.
But next Monday's at home, so I'm playing.
Is there anything else we can help you with? Your schedule?
Well, let's see what time.
They start at 6:15.
Use some money to get in, some concession stand.
Miss that one, good station.
If I remember right, 6:15 maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna try for you.
Yeah. My running buddy's already called.
Is, the new girl supposed to be there?
No, they're down, they got it narrowed down to about 3 or 4 applications.
I thought that Bowman girl.
Guess, talk to Glenn
She hadn't got
lately.
it?
Yeah.
Bowman?
They haven't made it, to my knowledge, they haven't made a decision yet.
Okay.
He's got the fluid.
On
You
his
know,
lungs
he's-
again.
Yeah, he's probably gonna have to be back in the hospital to drain that out.
Yeah.
It's usually about a once a month thing.
I ran into Floyd, we had a meeting at 911 at the casino yesterday. Him and his wife were eating lunch there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I got to talk to him for a little bit.
I know, we miss Floyd.
He eats pretty healthy, I didn't realize he had a pretty good plate.
To be so little, but he eats so much, I know.
Pretty good plate full of food on there. I don't know if you
Well,
did though.
He's probably gonna get his money's worth from the buffet.
I guess that's what it was, he might be taking some home, I don't know.
I know every time I go there, I eat too much. But you feel like you have to
Right.
get,
Yeah. It's the first time I ever been on there, I don't go very often, but, I guess since the water has risen so much that you didn't take the escalator down. You just went
oh,
straight in.
really?
I thought something was wrong, I was walking in, I was like, what's different here? The
That
escalator.
is, cause I don't think I've ever been on it when.
Yeah, and you just went straight in and you were in there.
Well, do they move it on their side, or where does it go?
I guess they have that, the floater, you know, like where the security is, you know how that's usually, like you're either
Down.
walking up or down?
Yeah.
It was just kinda straight.
Hmm.
And we just went, well, it was, you didn't even walk up to that area. When I walked in, I was at the bottom of the escalator. They had it roped
Right.
off, yeah.
They still have that like hall, where you know,
Yeah,
go down the hall and
yes, yeah.
you just,
And boom, you were there. I didn't know that was even an option. I didn't know. But, I guess the water, the rivers rose.
It's
so much.
jumped a bunch.
Yeah. They do to all the snow, I mean,
Actually, I think it's probably all the rain they had down around Chattanooga, because all that ends up coming by here.
okay.
But it's, I was up around Bay City yesterday, the river's up pretty good up there too.
Huh.
Not as bad as it is down. Cause I was talking to my son Nathan, and about the middle of last week, or when we had, just after our rain, it hits down there a little later, and they'd had 6 inches. And it's working on a couple more.
is that it, guys?
Yeah, everything going well?
Yeah, going okay.
Have a good day.
You too.
I'll make a copy of that schedule for you.
Okay.
Ready to. How are you, Kay?
Oh, pretty good, you guys?
Oh, doing great.
Wish it was a little warmer.
Me too. Yeah.
It's got first quarter maintenance, 2,000.
That's big, and multiply that times 4.
Is that,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, that's why,
The 8,000?
is that normal?
Manatron, I think, is way over that. Manatron has a bigger program.
yeah,
Some of those I think
first day of
are
each quarter, 8,000 a year.
Mhm.
And what is this for your mom?
Mhm.
I thought don't you take care of that? You don't?
Mhm. So we're gonna try. If we do, we're gonna be going it without one.
You got down to, Edward D. Jones on 911 stuff and get that signed.
You know, I hollered at Keith the other day when he drove by, I said, I'm ready when you are, so.
We had a 911 meeting yesterday.
Mhm.
He had mentioned it in the meeting that Floyd's name's off of it, I guess, or I don't know if his name, but anyway, that you, Keith, and Clarence Russell, I think, was gonna be on the signature cards. So,
Yeah.
he had mentioned that,
Waiting on Keith to,
what do you need him to, what do you need him to do?
we're both gonna go down there and
Okay.
sign it. I was crossing the street the other day when he
Okay.
came by, and I told him anytime, let me know, so
All
I'll
right.
get with him today and
Okay.
see.
Yeah, he just mentioned it yesterday's meeting, and that's, I thought, well, I'll just let you know.
Who's your worker?
Girl Scout cookies by any chance?
I wouldn't care to order some.
You don't feel like you're
No.
obligated?
It's
No,
not
I
like we're working
try
on the
and-
budget or anything,
Yeah. It's like I've signed open pull open the budget at the same time.
All proceeds going to the county.
Sure.
We're gonna have a car wash as soon as it warms up.
Roadblock.
My car needs one of those too.
Jason, wanna do commercial?
Yeah, let me do a Girl Scout commercial.
Just tried to how many boxes I've ordered.
They gotta hunt you down.
Yeah, they start coming, it's like, oh, I don't know, ordering all these.
I was just seeing if that was in your, like, maintenance budget.
What's that?
Just here, you know,
Oh,
for the JOS, or whatever you, is that how you say it, JOS?
that comes, it's not on our budget, well, whatever that number is, what do I have for the number? Oh,
What do you mean?
didn't I turn in a, I'll have to look.
Did you
I
turn in a
thought I turned in a claim.
I don't know, I didn't know if that's what y'all were passing around, or,
It comes out of,
cause your equipment maintenance, you got $1,200.
Yeah, you
Yeah, it
turned in a
doesn't
claim,
come out of
it's in
these.
this stack right here,
is it okay?
maybe.
It was for Scantron, I think, but it comes out of the same. Or I can run back to the office and. Let me run back and get a claim sheet, that way we can go ahead. I wasn't sure whether you wanted to go with that, so.
Do we need a motion, or what are we doing there?
I can do one here in a minute, I just wanna look at it. I know if it was out of her budget.
In her budget,
Yeah,
yeah.
in her budget.
I could have sworn I seen that.
She didn't hit me, I swear.
Comes out of 1049.27, which is program maintenance tax extension, since it is a real estate.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not listed here then. Now, your treasurer, these are your bonds for your treasurer's office, right?
Floyd has 300 in there,
Yeah.
but we should be reimbursed for where he canceled, so we'll just put it back
Okay,
where we took that. It's the 300 will cover Judy,
okay.
Cheryl,
You're saying, okay. Cause that's in your budget, 300, all right.
and then we should get some sort of a refund on my treasurer deputy's bond.
Is there any questions on this maintenance agreement, y'all concerned?
I think it's too high. My concern.
Or do we wanna hold off and ask the person to come in and try to talk to them?
When does that gotta be paid, Dana?
Well, it started at the 1st of January 2013.
And they're pretty lenient. Yeah, I can call James if y'all wanna talk to him and have him.
Ask him to come in next week,
Mm-hmm.
if that'd be possible.
That would be fine.
All right, we'll just hold off then. Be all right with you, Jeff? You good?
Yeah.
All right, I'll get this back to you, how's that sound?
That sounds good.
Thank you.
And you may wanna be in here with it if possible, I mean.
Dana, on that, you call him and he gives you advice. And he doesn't charge you, but what does that 2,000 per quarter cover, do you know?
This is actually for the actual program, you know, that we use.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, any of the maintenance for these computers is covered under Scantron, and you just have that one.
But
So,
when you, if he has to come down, you get charged.
minimal, but yeah, he does charge, and he's not here very often, but, you know, he does a lot of stuff over the phone. He can
Yeah.
go through the modem and do that, and they don't charge for that,
Really?
even though they could. So I think James has been, I don't think the 2,000 is as high as you think, you know, when you compare it to other maintenance agreements. But,
I understand.
like I said, I think.
Where does he live at?
Sykes.
So it wouldn't be bad for him to come over maybe, okay,
And I don't know if it would be him or if it would be his boss,
Okay.
Jim.
all right. We appreciate it if you can just ask him to come.
Okay. I'll have him come in.
Thank you.
And if I could get that claim to go, does that go, I don't know if I need to take that back to Cheryl.
You talking about the
So she
treasurer?
can-
Yeah, go ahead.
She can write that check and let it take care.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Nuts too, unless you doing right now?
No, it's all you, uh,
And I-
Oh, yeah, I should get all three of your
Well,
checks.
you're the head man. That's what you
Yes.
get the big bucks for.
Whatever.
Yeah, well, I just have a problem. If they're gonna charge anyway, why do you need just like Honeywell, why do you need a maintenance agreement?
They're gonna charge what do you mean?
Well,
If they-
when he comes over, she said most of the time he charges a little bit. I mean, why do you need that maintenance agreement if they're gonna charge you? Honeywell charges $18,000 a year, you remember that?
Yeah.
And then every time they come down, you get the bill.
Right.
And
Let's just, let them come down and explain it.
But they've, you know, we tried to get someone else before, and they raised so much cane about, you know, everybody else has got a different company, and they all like them.
Ted, come on up.
Yeah, who drives that black and white out there by you at the school?
That's Josh, where Josh lives at, right next door to Union School.
Josh Wilder?
Yeah.
He moved out of, New Liberty or whatever,
Yeah, he's been
Emmitsburg.
in that house about 2 months.
Okay.
Dang, save a lot. The 2 months bill,
What is it?
9,000.
Usually runs about 2 months. Part of that will be 2012's, maybe all of it. I know the NAP oil at 39, I believe that was for December 2012.
That drug traffic prevent, is that what you did with the school systems, or?
No, we installed surveillance cameras in the jail,
Oh,
and, guy really needed his money bad. Like, we had it held up for like 90 days, so we paid that out of the drug fund, and we got to reimburse the drug fund. So that's one of the few things we could use the money for, but we got to reimburse it.
do you have some plumbing issues, I see in and plumbing?
Yeah, they had to recertify the sprinkler system. We had some people come over to do it, but he had to certify one of the valves.
But Jim Walters, what do you do for it?
The interior cells, individual cells, we're having to rewire those, put in new light fixtures.
Oh. going on, Sheriff's Department, pretty, what, you got 50?
Today we got 50. We had released one over the weekend. It was when we had to go to the hospital, Patrick City. Just give him a notice to appear. John's out there now with another female that we may have to spend 2 or 3 days in the hospital with. I got 3 to go pick up in the next couple of days and bring in, so we'll be back in the mid-50s probably tomorrow.
Do we have someone that's in the hospital now?
No, John had him out there in the ER this morning.
Is that something we'll be responsible for?
Yeah, they kind of went on a little hunger strike, and so unless they can get her back up to where she needs to be, she'll probably be in the hospital a couple of days. So we'll have to sit with her 24 hours a day in the hospital.
Was she in the jail when she went on her strike, or?
Yeah, we've had her since last spring.
Oh, well.
So she's just serving time, she's not awaiting a trial or anything probably.
Yeah, I've tried rehab, that didn't work, so she hasn't been in trial yet. It's good to go. Well, we've had one where 3 years, so there's no telling how long.
They just sat backed up, I assume,
Yeah, really bad. I guess that's where the rest of the medical, that can pay out of that.
Yeah, but man, you sure hate people abusing it, you know? You know, that's gonna be expensive. Even though we get those discounted prices.
Yeah. John said we had her out there, I guess last fall for 3 or 4 days. He said about $2,000 a day, if you figure all the services.
If I remember right, we only had 15,000 like that, you know, and that's only wiped half of it out. Cause she decides, I mean, what's the punishment for people, I mean, you know, that's what's so bad.
It's not a crime to be stupid, unfortunately, huh?
You have mental health over there all the time, dealing with them.
What's she in there for?
Methamphetamine charge.
Can, something like that, can they give them an early out like they do some of the rest of them, or?
Well, that's kind of what the rehab was for. Give her, this is your chance to get rehab, and evidently she caused some problems in rehab, so they kicked her out and sent her back. So now she's back in the court system waiting trial.
This be added to her fines and fees?
I'm not sure Patrick can assess a fine for what they incur over there for jail medical.
It's just bad, you know, we're struggling and things like this happen. It's very just, what do you do? I don't have anything going on over there.
You still gonna try to meet today, or?
Yeah, I don't know if, what do y'all wanna work on some budgets some more today, or Wednesday, Thursday, what's good for you guys? I told him I'd try to knock his out first.
I can do that after dinner.
Yeah.
Is that good with you?
Yep.
Okay. Let's do it today at 1 o'clock.
Good. Thanks.
Thank you, Ted.
It's real aggravating.
Yeah.
You gotta pay that. We're tight on funds now, and people do that crap. decided, after looking over the resume and spent a lot of time discussing on the ESDA position, we felt like there was a lot of very good qualified people that has applied for the position. And we have decided, I was gonna make a motion for, as chairman, I was gonna make a motion for Joe Miller for the position, and if I can get a second on that.
Yeah, so,
Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. Alright, so Joe Miller will be taking the position for the ESDA coordinator, and that'll be a one-year position, and we'll evaluate that after 1 year to make sure he's fulfilling the responsibilities, and if not, then we will go back and look at these other resumes.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
My resume will be in there at the end of the week. I mean, I'm resigning.
I hate to,
Thank you.
well, I hate to hear that.
yeah, I don't understand that, for reasoning, but that's what it is.
Frank, how are you, sir?
Just fine, how about yourself?
It's always pleasant to see you.
Everybody off, you just like, you lie so
Do what now?
well. You lie so well.
Frank, it's been a long time.
I know it has been, you know.
I thought he said that.
I feel like I should be a fourth in here.
Do what now?
I feel like I should be a fourth.
Yeah.
Put it on the payroll.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see if we got checks for you.
There you go. We left the meeting, you know, with me going to Southern Seven, see if they had a plat for phase one. They do not have a plat. They've been through it before, and they just deemed that it was built without a plat being approved by the county.
We built it on, what now?
They approved it, it was built without being approved by the county.
That's their understanding.
That's their understanding. You know, and they say, if I get my hands on something, be sure to let them know, because they would love to have something,
I bet they would.
so.
Frank, that phase one, is that when you come in there on the straightaway and then you go through that fence row? Is that phase one there?
Okay, phase one starts,
Is that
my
starting North Avenue?
understanding is at Evergreen. The first yellow house on Evergreen,
Where Gentry lived?
is that where Gentry lives?
He did one time.
Oh, one time, Gentry's lived probably everywhere in this
He did,
area,
yeah.
to be honest with you.
There used to be a fence row there, might still be there.
No, there's no fence.
Okay, and then where is two? You go around on
You
Jupiter?
go around and I think it starts at White Pines.
All right, there's a fence row there, I believe.
Then from White Pines on, see, I am in the first phase of phase two, if I'm gonna put it this way, because I think it was a 2A and a 2B. And we've got plats for the other two, the courthouse, I've got copies of them.
So the straightaway going in doesn't have a phase, it's just,
Straightaway going in is built prior to.
County road anyway.
Whatever it was, yeah, and that's the part where the county maintains the road up
Yeah.
to, is up to Evergreen.
okay, I guess.
So we need all that, and you know, Evergreen is probably the best street there, simply because there's no heavy traffic on it, you know, you gotta go through the neighborhood and around.
So phase one is the one that doesn't have the plan.
Phase one's one doesn't have the flat, and you need some kind of idea, you know, where the boundaries of the roadway and the easements are before you accept anything, you know, this I realize. But at our meeting, we were talking, and Patrick was saying that the assessor had something down there, that was my next step, but it's not, quote unquote, flat drawing, something they have drawn up and worked with to find, you know, to keep track of the ownership of the land. And Patrick, Mr. Windhorst was talking about looking at that, information they develop some kind of usable plat, so we could find, the county could determine what easements were where and who had them.
Why
So,
wouldn't we just go back to the developer and have him to do that? Why is it responsibility of the county?
I don't know, but that's what Patrick said to me.
Okay, all right,
You
we'll
know,
talk about it and see.
You know, that's why I was coming up here to see, you know, and
Is,
I don't
does
know
anyone
what,
wonder if Mr. Gentry maybe has a copy of it at his house?
I know that, Mike Beggs has been trying to find one. He's talked
Yes, sir.
to Gary Gentry, and he's talked to somebody named Linda, I forget her last name, to see if they had some kind of old drawings, and so far he has come up with nothing, same as I have. You know, I don't see how the subdivision got built without a plat, without somebody approving it. I think they had to get permits, didn't they, at least to build?
I don't think they had that back then.
See, the rumor I heard, and this is all rumor and conjecture, because this is long before my time, is that they were going to stop building there, and all of a sudden, somebody came up with 25 permits to build out there. Now,
See,
whether
the
that was-
county didn't have to have a permit, you know, so. About, 4 or 5.
But what we're talking about was built in the 80s.
Mm.
This was built.
I don't know why they would have.
I don't know why who would have given them a permit.
85, I don't know either, but you know, you hear all kinds of things, you know, the more we get into this, the deeper the web we spin.
Yeah.
And it seems like the light of the tunnel is getting further and further away.
Now, the Southern Seven was involved because I did, as soon as you get into the part, the phase 1, on the right where the yellow house is, they come up with the idea of putting the septic or aerator in, and then you had the 5-gallon buckets, that back there where you could look in there and see where it stopped up and rotted out and stuff. Have you ever seen them there? Okay. I did all that. So the Southern Seven told us what to do.
Yeah.
So they was involved in it.
Well, they admit they were involved in it, but as far as drawings, they don't have any.
Well, yeah.
I mean, Southern Seven at one time said they weren't responsible, they didn't approve the, septic system, but we have signed documentation that says they approved it, it's also recorded.
Yeah.
That Southern Seven did the sewer system, they approved the sewer system. So we get, you know, I'll probably come back and let you know what I found. I'm not done looking yet, maybe, you know, something will happen. I'm gonna check with the engineering company here in the city and see if they've got anything, because I know that it used to be Engineering Inc., now it's HMG. They got together and they drew some water lines, where the water lines are at for the city in there. I don't know what kind of records they have, but I don't think they have a phase 1. All these were, I think, were just drawn, and they would say, okay, the
Yes,
water,
I did, yeah.
you know, it was an estimate, it was a swag. But, I don't know where we go from here. I guess we need to talk to Patrick and see what he wants to do.
Okay.
You know, as far as, you know, I figure that'd come better from you guys than me, unless you want me to tell them what I found out. I'm not
tell
shy.
I'm not afraid, I mean, I tell it to.
Yeah, okay, well, I don't want everybody coming in and, you know, all, you know, at one side and it appears that we're ganging up on them. I don't want to do that, but we need to come up with another common direction, what we need to do to get a.
Yeah.
Have you all, last time we spoke, you had mentioned something about looking for grants for that road. Have you all been able to research other cities or counties that are able to have success in that?
Well, we know there is grants out there. I mean, I haven't personally done it, I know Diane, Miss Ryan has, but since we've talked, probably not. But, you know, right now it's a moot point because we cannot even apply for a grant unless the county owns the roads or that takes the roads over.
But it also would be a a midpoint, wouldn't we wanna see some success in grant writing in other counties or cities before we would ever want to entertain that?
Yeah, that would be, you know, we could see what we could do with that part of it. But, you know, until these roads are not addressed as local roads, that's how IDOT classified them, and they were ineligible for grants. You know, we're at a catch-22 here. You know, as we talked about before, is, you know, if the county decides to take those over, we know that you don't have the money to fix them. You know, we know that, but that's a step, that's a tool, that's an aid in us getting the grant. You know, that's a box we can check, and yeah, you know, if you can't check this box, don't proceed any further. That's where we're at. You know, we talked about the county taking the roads over and writing a letter. You know, this doesn't mean that we're gonna, you know, fix them overnight. You know, we may not fix them for several years until we get grants. You know, it may get to the part where the county takes the taxes that's been paid. You know, we pay approximately, I think, $5,000 a year in just road taxes out there to the county, is to take that portion of it and put it in a special account, so eventually we can get enough money to do stuff with. And you've got, what, I know it hasn't been $5,000 a year for the last 20, but it's been $5,000 a year for the last several years, that I know. I haven't come back and researched all the records to the mid-80s from the conception. I don't know how, I would say probably for the last 10 years at least. And there's roughly $50,000.
How much inconsistency is there among the neighbors out there as far as what needs to be done? The reason I ask is because
What do you mean by inconsistencies?
well, more than one. How a homeowner out there was not happy the night we had the meeting in the courtroom, because they cornered me about it, and I guess one of them felt like that there were spokespeople there that he wasn't saying that that's my spokesperson. I mean,
Yeah, okay, so,
this
okay.
gentleman's theory was, I mean, I guess his theory was that,
Yeah.
yes, you've been paying road taxes, but you're also using other road, and that's been mentioned, so.
But other people, you know, I think that stems from the comment that was made long before, is that, yeah, you know, we do use other county roads, but county does get other money to pay for those roads, you know, from the landowner whose property is right next to the road, you know, is adjacent to it, is, I imagine, part of their taxes pay for that road, that section of road. Just like our taxes, you know, should pay for our section of road, and any surplus should go in general fund. You know, I don't know how all that
The
works.
general fund, but it goes some highway.
Well, highway fund, I should say, okay, highway fund. So, I don't think you're gonna get one common spokesperson or one set of spokespeople that'll take and satisfy every individual there, because you're just not gonna do it. You know, a lot of people have their own agendas. If their road is nice and smooth, you know, let's say they live on Evergreen, which is the best road out there next to the county road. It's probably actually better than the county road, to be honest, when people take a drive out there. Is they don't see a need to get anything done.
And that's one of those individuals that told me that may live on that road, I'm not
And
sure.
maybe they do, maybe they don't, you know, maybe I would feel the same way different if I didn't live back on Holly Lane and have to travel and go through the washboards, you know, especially in front of Mr. Becks's house, you know, where we know we do have some base failure there. I mean, doesn't take an engineer to figure that one out.
Since we met last last Thursday. Have you had a number of neighbors to contact you to find out what was in discussion and thoughts?
I haven't had many people discuss, the neighbors that were there, the people who were there, they're normally the go-to people. I just got involved in this last year when I had my neck surgery. It was coming down the road and I was being enough is enough.
Frank, at that meeting we had last week, up there at Patrick's office, who was that gentleman sitting to the left of you?
That would be
He was pretty
Gary.
vocal now, but I didn't know him.
Gary, I forget what his last name is. He lives right across the street from me on Juniper.
Is he retired now, or?
He's retired now. Yeah, he came down there. He's been down in the area for 7 years. The life of me, I know it's Gary and Lou, and I forget their last name. I want to
It
say.
seemed like I knew him too, but I didn't.
But he was involved, you've seen him before because he was talking about the water in the city. He was
The
involved.
flood, you mean?
No, the water lines.
Oh, I see.
And I don't know if they've addressed the
Well,
committee.
maybe that's where I'd see
Yeah,
him.
that's where you've seen him at before, because he was
Okay.
pretty vocal on that.
Yeah. Okay. And then the guy next to him,
That was Ted Sheevy. He's the one that lives, he's the only one that was there that lives in phase 1.
okay,
And, you know, I believe he
He's
said
from- he's not from around here either.
I don't know, no, he's not from around here either. His is, I think you were saying his deed actually had a description on it, it did not refer to a flat. So, you know, that almost leads me to believe there was no flat developed because it went by means and bounds in phase 1. And then the phase 2, the 2 phase 2s is, they went, you know, oh, there's a flat, it's just means and bounds all put together anyway, they just refer to your flat as a means of description of your property.
Well, I guess we'll talk to,
Frank, have you talked to Gary? I just wonder what he says about what he wrote on that plat, you know, about.
I myself have never laid eyes on a gentleman, have
Okay.
never spoken a word to him.
Okay.
Mike Biggs has really
Been talking to him.
been talking to him, he's the go-to person for that. And Gary was surprised from what the conversation with Mike, that he actually signed that with the stipulation that those roads and lanes would be privately
Oh,
maintained.
he didn't remember signing
He
it?
didn't remember signing it
Okay.
with that on it. But, you know, his health is failing too, and,
Right.
you know, day is day, I forget what I did yesterday if I'm not careful. But, I know he's supposed to be in poor health now. I'll talk to Mike and see what he's found out later, but I thought, oh, guys, you guys are having a meeting, I don't wanna leave you guys hanging and thinking what, you know, that we haven't done anything.
Sure.
Cause I just got off the phone, actually, I was waiting for a phone call back, cause I called and talked to a person named Ronnie at 7-7. He called me back yesterday.
Inman?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Then he referred me to Brad in the
Rendleman.
office.
Brad Rendleman.
Brad Rendleman. No, he didn't give me a last name yet.
He's the chief engineer, whatever
Okay,
they call
well,
him.
he was really familiar with it, you know, he
Yeah.
says, yeah, that, you know, to put it bluntly, that subdivision in one word is just a nightmare. 'Cause and how it got that way is prior to our times.
Oh, you don't have any sewer problems, do you? I mean, are they surfacing out there, or?
That, okay, we actually, you know, some people have a contract with like, Gore Concrete, Christopher Concrete, and people like that come out every 6 months and
Service it?
service it, yeah.
Okay.
And some people like myself, I service my own, you know, I've been in the business for 37 odd years.
Sure.
I think I know how to pull a chlorine tablet out and clean the filter. And
I don't know who, I put in those first ones on the right, but I don't know who put in the rest of
I
them.
don't know who put them in, I don't know if it was Gore Concrete or what, because a lot of people have their
There's a
service.
guy around here, then Dale Cowgill at that time that put in a bunch of tanks.
That's,
Different
that's
places.
a name I've heard before.
Yeah, Dale Cowgill.
Yeah. But, you know, and the sewer system is a sticky point for, you know, whether the city wants to annex Cedar Lane or not.
Yeah.
The EPA wants them to fix, you know, the annex and fix the sewer system. The city doesn't have the money to fix the sewer system.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, it's gonna deal with, can the EPA eventually give a grant out and have the city annex it? Well, we don't know yet, you know, and that's not in the near future, I can tell you that right now, you know, it may be 6, 7, 8 years down the road, if that. You know, it's another uncertainty in this economy, is, you know, if things were like they should have been, you know, the city would have maintained their 1.5 mile oversight and everything on the city limit, you know, within this, past the city boundaries, and we would never had these problems. But nobody, you know, neither entity enforced the rules and regulations they had on the books.
I talked to the mayor a day or two ago, and I think they decided to go quarter mile.
On some areas, they're going to go 1/4 mile, some areas they'll extend it more.
How are they?
It's not gonna be a set boundary.
Yeah.
And they were talking about in the council meeting the other day, the other night, last Monday, you know, there's areas they know there's no need to even to go any further because they can't expand anyway.
Yeah.
But like at the industrial park and I-24 and stuff, you know, they'll want that full, you know, they should want that full 1.5 miles. Now, I'm not putting words, that's the way I understood what they were talking about at the council meeting, so it's not gonna be a standard
Oh, I see.
distance, it's going. And, you know, I can see where they would eventually wanna annex in Cedar Lane, but right now it's just not financially appealing to them to do that.
I think that's what it amounts to.
Yeah. It's a big word, as we talked about last week, it's money, you know, and that's all about boiled down to is the almighty dollar.
What value would you put on those homes out there on average?
You know, I don't know, I would say probably average, gosh, I would, you know, I couldn't give you an honest answer, you know, I know that, you know, some of them I've seen sell, I mean, just had one of them sell out there, an older one that was built in '85 for $129,000, and you've got other ones on White Pines that are sale for $186,000. But the one across the street, that's when they bought, they paid $190,000 for it. You know, so, you know, if you figure 160 to 170,000, something like that, you know. But there's a hunk of tax base out there, I mean, you've got a big tax base out there.
Any more, Jason?
No, I don't have any questions. We'll talk to Patrick.
If you would,
Yeah.
let me know, and then I'll talk to Mike and see, you know, what goes on, see if he can get something, but, and I'll talk to the engineers, I just wanna keep this, I don't want it to, what's happened to it before, I don't want it just to come here at you, and then all of a sudden, everybody just get tired and fizzle out on it, and not come with some agreement, cause it's been that way, it's been done that way before, and, it's stuff that we need to get resolved for, you know, not for only our subdivision, but for the other people that have problems or issues with the roadways and how things were done in the past. You know, it's our job as good citizens and stewards of the county is that, you know, we need to try to right the wrongs that were done. I know we can't right them all at one time, but we have to take, you know, positive action, you know, a positive step forward. And, you know, any progress is better than none at all.
That's exactly right.
I do appreciate your time and your effort, and I know you're really getting tired of seeing me.
No, not at all.
Frank, record time about to get used to.
I thought it was, He made that comment earlier, he forgets what he did yesterday, but he don't forget Tuesdays.
No.
Yeah, 2 o'clock, I thought, oh, yeah, you gotta go up there and talk to the guys. But, you know,
We're just gonna put you on the agenda.
there you go, might as well. Have a standard meeting.
We'll see you, and I'll talk to Patrick and try to get back with you.
I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you getting back to me like you've been doing,
I'll be
Jason.
trying.
I mean, you know, all you can do is try.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
Don't want any extremist action, you know, you get some of these people, oh, we ought to take and do this and do that, well, we ought to just take a step back, look at it, and make the right decision for everybody.
sounds good. Thank you,
Thank
Frank.
you, guys.
Take it easy. Have a good
Yes,
one,
sir.
too.
Enjoy this wonderful weather, huh?
Are you froze up down there?
No,
Still going, huh?
no, well, you know, Friday starts off nice and warm, you know.
Never thought about that, I guess it does, doesn't it?
I work at the wastewater treatment
Yeah.
plant. You guys take care
Hey,
now.
be careful now.
Yeah, you do the same. Thanks for your time.